You know, there was always talk about the four elements of hip hop, you know, graffiti and b-boying and MCing and DJing, but you know, I almost saw beat digging, you know, the aspect of DJing and beat digging as almost a fifth element that no one had talked about. Full name is Andre Torres. I am the editor-in-chief and founder of Wax Poetics. I found myself buying all these magazines just for that one piece of information. And I'd read it, thumb through the rest of it, throw it in the trash. I mean, even on the internet at the time, you know, other than in these little groups, there was no information about most of these artists that I had heard about. Well, what we need is something that just puts it all together in one place. You know, I thought, all right, well, let's make a magazine then. Let's do it. I was very naive to the whole thing, so, you know, I just thought you start a magazine and you call all these companies that are in these other magazines and they'll advertise in your magazine.
Done, motherfucker.
My name's Dennis Coxon. I'm one of the partners at Wax Poetics. Started out mostly doing advertising sales, and now, like all the owners, do a little bit of everything.
I didn't know what I was doing. You know, I mean, I didn't know how to talk to marketing people and advertisers. This is, you know, where having someone who understood the nuances of this really came in handy. And I just thought, hallelujah.
If there's any kind of play we can make, at the end of the day is that, like, I got this spread in the very front that's just sitting there. I'm going to print. So, you know.
Here was the thing that I realized out the gate about Wax Poetics. Not everyone knew about it, but everyone that did know about it was insanely in love with it.
We have always put a magazine together that we wanted to read, and that's pretty much been the guiding light. You know, our first issue, we had Idris Muhammad, who is, you know, one of the greatest drummers and one of the most sampled drummers in the history of music. That kind of anchored the issue and providing context for a lot of the other stuff we were putting in. It really spoke to what we were about, the beats. You know, one of the things I was very keen on early on was not just creating a magazine, but creating a brand. Just the name itself would mean something. That sort of just evolved very organically.
We were brought on to put out the Black Dynamite score. Throughout that process, we realized that there was this cat, Adrian Young, who was the editor of the movie, who also created all these original compositions that we thought sounded just like old reissued licensed music. Found out that it was stuff that he was creating himself in his garage. So that led us to Adrian, and that was our first signing. From there, we moved on with Chico Man, and then our newest signing is Kendra Morris.
I can't imagine what it's like.
I did this because I was inspired by this music, and so to create something that then inspires people puts it all back in perspective for me, and you know, helps me to realize that, you know, we really are onto something here.